Hello, fellow comic book lovers, collectors, and aficionados. Vin Crew here with my weekly bitch, my back issue comic haul. And as I touched on last week, I went to a shop and they were having a build your own long box for $40. And so, if you're going to challenge me that way, I'm definitely going to take you up on the offer. Excuse me, I'm like everybody else fighting off that cold, so we'll see how this goes. So ended up buying a couple of long boxes, about 450 books, and got it for a little less than $80. I think I spent $65 for the two. So it came out to be roughly 15 cents a book. I'm not going to bore you, as usual, with all this stuff. I'm just going to try to hit some of the highlights here, that sort of thing. But before we get started, just want to touch on a couple of things. One is my contest. I was almost going to pull it and redo it after I did my thing, and I started getting these PMs and comments that these are tough questions and whatnot, and that it might be hard to answer them. And so I was like, wow, that's not my intent with these questions whatsoever, was to make this difficult and intimidating by any stretch of the imagination. So I was this close to just pulling the video down and just saying I'm going to start thinking something else. Not only that, but I was at 449, and then I ended up losing one, and Jimmy C pointed that out to me, so I was actually at 448 at that point. But thankfully, I'm a little bit past that now, so I'm legitimately at 450. But now these questions, I just want to touch on it. These are just to be fun questions. They're opinions and insight. Nobody's got right answers and wrong answers. If we did, I highly doubt that we would be just sitting in the comic book market. I think we'd be playing the stock market and a few other things. I could be wrong there, but at least I would be. So, have some fun with these questions. That's all my intent is. I want to thank Ira and Dan and Francis and Sam and these other people that have already made their submissions. Otherwise, if I wouldn't have seen those, I probably would have pulled it. So thank you so much. And I definitely would love to see some more. I think I've got about a half a dozen right now. I would love to see some more. Just have fun with this. I think it's, it was just my intent was to do some different questions, some thought-provoking ones, and just to have some fun with it. So, all right. Enough said with that. And then also, like I said, I do have other books I'm going to throw into the prize pack too, over and beyond the ones that I've shown. I just have to pull them, and I'll probably maybe do that next week. But just a reminder, the contest ends on the 28th. So, at this point, I've only got like a half a dozen entries. I'd love to see some more. So, all right, let's move on to the obligatory hot book. Movie, TV, that sort of thing. And once again, I'm not a speculator. I'm not an expert in comics. All I like to do is just read the different websites out there, glean the information, pass it along to you guys, and you can choose to do with it what you want. So probably the biggest news was the breaking of the actual Suicide Squad supposed roster, and by far the biggest surprise was the Enchantress, who made her appearance in Strange Adventures. It's either 167 or 187. Holy cow, as usual, did that book skyrocket in price. I don't own that book. I just watched an auction on eBay close, and before that, they relisted the book. It was at $40. I think it sold for $139. So, just crazy, wait it out. That's all I can say. These books are hot one minute, gone the next minute. It'll probably bottom out at a $20 to $40 book is my guess. We'll see. But anyways, one book that is maybe one that you might want to put on your radar is this book. It is Adventure Comics 417. And the reason being, oh geez, you can't see the bottom, but you can see right there, The Enchantress of Terror Castle. This book actually reprints the Strange Adventures 165, the first appearance of the Enchantress. So it's a cheap alternative. So if you're looking for the first appearance of the Enchantress and you want to get familiar with what she's all about, check out that book right there. All right, the next one was, Jay Leto playing the Joker in Suicide Squad, causing some discussions, and probably rightfully so. But this is the first time Joker shows up in the Suicide Squad, which is Suicide Squad 48 in the first series. And it is a two-part story. I've shown these both. This is 49. This is kind of a retelling or a revisiting of The Killing Joke. So it's good to have in your collection regardless. But, yeah, so if you want the Joker's first appearance in the Suicide Squad, there you go. Issue 48 and 49 of Suicide Squad. All right. A new book. I haven't picked up any new books. I won't even probably pick this one up. But one that's caused some people to pick up. And I've noticed you either really love this book or you really hate this book. Like John DeCostas really hates this book. And Stacy Poole, I think her name is. I think she bought like 4 or 5 copies of it. Is the Secret Six, the new Gail Simone book. And one of the characters in there that was kind of a surprise. I don't think she was in the first series. I could be wrong there, but it was Black Alice. And if you're interested, Black Alice's first appearance is in Birds of Prey 76. So kind of a fun little C-class thing, first appearance. So, if you see it in the dollar bin, pick it up. All right, another one that's is this book right here, Gotham by Gaslight. And this book is already one that should be in your collection. It's an Elseworlds book. It's Magnolia. It's just a great read. But what's interesting about this is that the Lex Luthor, I read this, don't quote me on this. I could be way off, or this person could be way off that wrote this, but apparently the Lex Luthor version that's in this particular book is playing a pivotal role in the multiversity, the Grant Morrison thing that's going on. So, so kind of interesting there. And then the last book I wanted to show was, last week I showed my prize pack from Jockus Nerdius, Sam. And he had gave me the Gambit issue number 1, and I said that would go along nicely with my gold. I had a few people ask me to show the book, and I went on eBay, and this book is selling for a little bit of money. So this is Gambit, the number 1, the first Gambit solo series. It's similar to the Venom Gold. I believe this is a 1-in-50 ratio, somewhere around there. I think less than 3,000 were printed of this, so it's relatively scarce, and it goes for a little bit of change, like about $30 on eBay if you can even find the book. So kind of cool. All right, so moving on. All right, let's get started on the books here that I picked up. Now, I still am processing these books, so I'm only going to show you this week the books I picked up in DC stuff. The first book, and I ran out of bags and boards, so some of this stuff isn't bagged or boarded even yet. This one here is the Man of Steel number 5. But what's interesting is you can see it's a little bit different in size than a regular comic. And what this is that this is an MPI or a Shanlan version of the 6-issue miniseries, and they did a version of this for all 6. And then there's the Untold Legends of the Dark Knight is another one, and there's some Marvel stuff. And they did these with cassettes that you could listen along while you're reading the book. I really like these things. They're kind of a niche to me, so when I see them, I pick them up. Supergirl's obviously pretty hot right now. For 15 cents, I grabbed this book here. When did this come out? 1985. It's the movie adaptation of the Supergirl. There's the picture of the Supergirl. I don't know if you remember that movie from back then. Yanni Gogolak showed this one in his most recent one. This is Supergirl. This is a like a grade 8 kind of a thing. Just an interesting looking thing. I saw it, but what's more interesting is this is a DC Nation variant. I know Tom Ryan mentioned about those. I don't know a lot about the DC Nation. From what I'm gathering is that it ties in with the Cartoon Network, DC Nation, little snippets that they were doing a few years back. So But these were these destinations. I own the Wonder Woman that you own, Tom, and I own Flash and a few other ones. So there's a few of them out there. Some more Supergirl. Here's number 2 out of her second series, I want to say. Maybe it's her first. This book I just love. It's Clayface, her fighting Clayface. I just think that's a beautiful cover. I did pick up 2 copies of that, so I do have a duplicate of it if anybody's interested. I'm always picking up these Silver Age classics. This is a reprint of Action Comics 252. That is a double. Here's Adventure Comics 247 of the first Legion of Superheroes. Detective Comics 225. Detective Comics 327 with the new outfit and the for Batman. This is a double also if anybody's interested. Silver Age the showcase number 4. Sugar and Spike. Boy, these Sugar and Spikes are pretty sought after. Brave and the Bold 28. The first Justice League I picked up. Once again, these are all 15 cents each. Secret Origins of, this is like series 2, I think. This is number 15. It touches on Spectre and Deadman. Thought it was appropriate because Spectre's in the Constantine, or at least Corrigan is. This one's a hot book right now, and that's a newsstand version. This is the Secret Origin of the Suicide Squad. As I stated, got to give a credit to Budget Comics. He did a nice little thing on this. This kind of falls in between Legends and the Suicide Squad first series, so pretty desirable if you're looking for that early appearance. Secret Origin of Firestorm, Secret Origin of Shazam. Thought that was a cool cover. All right, this one is kind of interesting and cool. This is World's Finest 289, and this is the Walgreens edition. And how you can tell if it's a Walgreens edition is that there's no date. There's no month on here. Right up in here, it's blank. So, right up in here, right under the number. So that was kind of fun to find that. Superpowers, I think this is volume 3, number 1. These are all doubles. Number 3, number 5, I believe this is, and number 7. So if anybody wants to do a trade, let me know. Nice Apocalypse cover on that. I'm always looking for Elseworlds books, regardless of who it is. Robin 3000, book 1 and book 2. Karate, Richard Dragon, number 7. What is this? Third appearance of Lady Shiva. These were fun to find. The Sandman Presents Lucifer. I've been getting lucky on finding these. These came out after Sandman 4 and before the Sandman series itself started, or the Lucifer series started. So there's issue 3, issue 2, and issue 1. Issue 1 and 2 are doubles, so if anybody's interested in trading, let me know. Found a Planetary number 9. Some of these early Planetaries are pretty desirable. That's also a double too. So Power Girl, the Tangent. I love these tangents. They're worth nothing, but I think they're kind of cool and different, so picked it up. So, found some Preachers. Here's number 18 with the Origin of the Lighter. That's a double. Number 27 is a double. And number 66, which is the last issue, that's a double also. And this is on the bag. It's not. So, and then I found Preacher Special One Man's War. This one is not a double. I'm always looking for DC Universe variants. So Green Lantern number 68. Some more Gotham Central, 17, 32. This is a nice Poison Ivy cover on that one, kind of interesting. And 37, that's a series I'm working on. Another Elseworlds book, Golden Age. This is book 3. I think it's 3 issues in that, I think. So, this one, I saw this in somebody's video, and I can't remember what it is, who it was, but this has got a first appearance of somebody in it, and it is escaping me. But if you can find Flash Secret Files and Origins number 8, it has the first appearance of one of his villains is in this book. So, and it may be somebody can tell me who it is, or I'll try to figure it out and put it in the comments or whatever. All right, moving on. Found another Ex Mechanica. Is it Machina? I don't know how you pronounce that, but the Brian K. Vaughan. This is the free introduction, but it's still kind of a sought-after little book. That is a double if anybody's interested in it. Another double that I found, Detective Comics 688, is it? The First Anarchy. No, it's not 88, it's 08, isn't it? Yeah, 608, First Anarchy, another double. This is a double. Doom Patrol and Suicide Squad, the special. Another Doom Patrol number 7, the First Shrapnel. Another one of these is a duplicate also. Deathstroke the Terminator number 15, the First Ravager. And this is a double also. DC Millennium Crisis on Infinite Earths. This is the embossed, I think they call it embossed, version. This is a little harder to find than the regular one. You can tell the difference. I hope you can see. This is more raised, the DC Millennium logo. This is not. And speaking of that, here's World's Finest, 71, DC Millennium, and then the Sandman number 1, DC Millennium. Happy to find those. This one I thought was kind of cool. I like these currents, these DC currents, so I'll pick them up when I can. But this has a thing on the death of Superman, which I thought was kind of fun. This one is a duplicate also. This is the Countdown special for Flash. It reprints a bunch of his first series stuff, including 106, 117. So if you want to read 106 and you don't want to spend the money on it, First Gorilla Grodd, and there's a Trickster, I think, is in that one. Look for this one, Countdown Special number 1, or if you want to trade for it. Connor Hawk 1. If you watched the last part of The Flash, the most recent Flash, they were, Oliver Queen ran into that woman that has this kid. Kind of interesting, who knows. Chase, The Knowledge, number 1 by Vertigo, 15 cents. Catwoman 23, second print, first Joker's Daughter in the New 52. These are kind of fun. I like these. This is Shadow of the Bat. I think there's 5 of them in this series. It predates the Shadow of the Bat, the ongoing series, that won about 90 issues. But there's number 1 and number 3. So this is a double. I found another bagged Shadow of the Bat, number 1, first Zaz. This one's a double too. Batman Adventures number 1. No, that is not a double. Sorry, that is. But Batman Adventures number 1 from the first series. This I picked up just because it has some great characters on the cover there from Garth Ennis and Glenn Fabre. This is the Authority Key or Kev, number 1. Once again, 15 cents. Animal Man number 8. I'll pick up any early Animal Mans, especially for 15 cents each. And then the last couple books, Adventures in the DC Universe, number 1. I love these little kid ones now. I'm just picking them up when I can. And then Action Comics, 645, which is the first appearance of Maxima, who kind of is a somewhat popular character in the DC Universe. I'm not sure if she's in the New 52 yet or not, but maybe somebody can tell me about that. So next week, I'm going to try to get through the Marvel and the independents that I ended up buying. Like I said, this is just a fraction of the DC, not even a quarter of the amount of books I bought. But at 15 cents each, it's great for me to fill my runs and stuff that I cringe I ever have to spend more than 50 cents or $1 per issue on. So, but I'm rambling. Please, once again, look at my contest. Have some fun with it. Don't be intimidated. I really, really, really am looking forward to seeing everybody's responses. I value everybody's opinions and insight in the industry. I think everybody's very plugged in and very in touch, and everybody has their unique aspects on it. So But that's good enough for this week. This is Vin Cruz signing off. Thank you.